Not so long ago, BlackBerry phones were all the rage. Everyone thought they were super cool and cutting edge, just like iPhones are today. The BlackBerry really stood out because of its design, especially the first one. It had this keyboard with keys that were spread out and shaped like little slanted ovals, which kind of looked like the dots on a BlackBerry fruit. The name BlackBerry itself sounded quick and sharp thanks to the hard B sound, which was a great fit for a phone that meant business. And speaking of business, BlackBerry totally changed the game with its email service. It was the go-to phone for work stuff, and it's go even more popular when BlackBerry Messenger came out. Big stars like Kim Kardashian, Katy Perry, and even President Barack Obama were fans of BlackBerry. But then things took a turn. Despite being on top of the world, BlackBerry had some hard times and ended up struggling a lot financially. In this video, I'm going to dive into the whole story of how BlackBerry went from being a tech superstar to facing some serious challenges. Hey there, it's Mohammed from Momentum Wealth. Join me for insightful stories of businesses and money. Hit subscribe for more value. Let's delve deeper into the story of BlackBerry and its founder Mike Lazaridis. Mike Lazaridis, the visionary behind BlackBerry, was born in Turkey and immigrated to Canada at the age of 5. His interest in science and technology was evident from a young age and he pursued electrical engineering at the University of Waterloo. In 1984, just before completing his degree, Mike made a bold move. With a few credits left, he dropped out to start a venture with his friends Dutch Frigate. They named their company Research in Motion. In the beginning, REAM didn't have a specific direction. They stayed afloat by taking on various engineering contracts, doing whatever work they could find. Their first significant contract was with General Motors, designing a display system for assembly line workers. This $600,000 project was a turning point for the young company. Another pivotal contract came from Rogers, a phone company. The work they did for Rogers introduced them to the world wireless communication, which would become REAM's forte. They began developing wireless radio modems, and by 1997, REAM had made a significant leap in mobile technology with the introduction of an interactive pagers. This device wasn't just any pagers, it allowed two-way communication, enabling users to send and receive messages wirelessly. For the time, this was groundbreaking. Traditional pagers only allowed one-way communication and were widely used by professionals who need to stay connected. REAM believed that despite the high price tag of $675, the two-way pager would appeal to professionals who wanted more efficient communication. They were right. The pager was a hit, quickly becoming the mainstay of REAM's business. Within a year, it accounted for the majority of the company's revenue. The success of the two-way pager paved the way for REAM to go public in 1998. The initial public offering raised over $100 million, which was crucial in fulfilling the ongoing demand for the pager. The success of the two-way pager paved the way for REAM to go public in 1998. The initial public offering raised over $100 million, which was crucial in fulfilling the burgeoning demand for their pagers. This influx of capital allowed REAM to innovate further and solidify its position in the mobile communication market. As REAM continued to grow, it introduced the BlackBerry in 1999. The BlackBerry was more than just a pager. It was the full-fledged mobile device that could handle emails, phone calls, and messaging. Its unique keyboard design, resembling the droplets of its namesake fruit, became iconic. The BlackBerry quickly became synonymous with business and efficiency, attracting high-profile users like celebrities and politicians. However, the tech industry is notoriously fast-paced, and staying on the top requires constant innovation. BlackBerry's dominance began to wane as competitors introduced a smartphone with more features and user-friendly interfaces. Despite attempts to keep up, BlackBerry struggled to maintain its market share. The company that once revolutionized mobile communication found itself lagging behind, leading to financial difficulties and questions about its future. The story of BlackBerry is a classic tale of technological innovation, rapid growth, and the challenge of sustained success in a competitive market. It's a reminder that in the tech world, today's leader can quickly become tomorrow's memory if it doesn't continue to evolve. In 1998, when Research in Motion went public, it was a big deal. Their earnings shoot up to $20 million, which was more than 3 times what they were making before. But the real game changer came the next year. In 1999, that's when they launched the BlackBerry 850, and it was like nothing anyone had seen before. This little gadget let you send and read emails without needing a computer, which was pretty wide back then. The BlackBerry 850 was a hit, but RIM didn't stop there. In 2001, they brought out the BlackBerry 857, which was even better than 850. Both of these early BlackBerry models were all about emails and didn't make phone calls. But in 2002, RIM introduced the BlackBerry 5510, and it was their first model that could actually make calls. There was a catch though, it didn't have a microphone or speaker built in, so you had to use a headset to talk on the phone. People weren't thrilled about the headset things, and RIM got some flake for it. But the BlackBerry 5510 was still pretty popular because it combined a phone, email, and other handy tools like a calendar and address book all in one. It was perfect for business people who need to stay organized and connected. RIM knew they had something special, so they started advertising in the big-time magazines and tech journals to reach the right crowd. BlackBerry's main sales came from businesses, not regular people. Companies gave BlackBerry phones to their workers because they were good for communication. Big names in finance like David Dell and May Lynch, and even the US government used BlackBerry because it worked well and was dependable. BlackBerry's success was not limited to the business world. Of course, it became a part of popular culture over time. Celebrities' use of BlackBerry played an important role in introducing the device to wider audience and adding prestige to the product. In addition, BlackBerry Messenger was available to BlackBerry users. BlackBerry was popular for its secure and quick messaging. Young people really like it. Having a BlackBerry meant you were part of a special group. If you didn't have one, you might feel left out because you couldn't chat on BlackBerry Messenger like your friends. Year after year, BlackBerry rolled out new models, each one sticking to that classic BlackBerry vibe with the keyboard that everyone loved. But even as they updated and improved, they kept that signature look and feel that made BlackBerry, well, BlackBerry. In 2011, BlackBerry hit the jackpot, raking in a whopping $20 billion. It was their golden year, but as quickly as they climbed to the top, they start to sleep. The very things that made BlackBerry awesome, the keyboard, the email, the messenger, start to become their Achilles heel. The keyboard was BlackBerry's bread and butter. It was what made typing emails on the go a breeze and BBM chats a blast. But then, in 2007, along came Apple with the iPhone, and the game changed overnight. Steve Jobs showed off this sleek new phone with a screen you could touch, and suddenly, those little BlackBerry buttons felt old school. The iPhone was a bold move. It ditched the keyboard entirely, which was a big deal. People were so used to the click-clack of BlackBerry's keys that the silent sweeping on the iPhone felt strange. But as they say, the only constant is change, and the world was ready for this new touchy-feely way of communication. BlackBerry tried to keep up, but it was like running a race with your shoelaces tied together. They had built their empire on that keyboard, and now it was the very thing holding them back. The tech world was moving fast, and BlackBerry was struggling to keep pace. When the iPhone first hit the scene, it was tied to AT&T, meaning if you wanted an iPhone, you had to be an AT&T customer. This was a boomer for folks loyal to other carriers. BlackBerry saw this as an opportunity and decided to shake things up. They wanted to create something that could go toe-to-toe with the iPhone. So they came up with their own touchscreen phone, the BlackBerry Storm. The Storm was BlackBerry's answer to the iPhone, and it was exclusive to Verizon. This gave Verizon customers a choice. They didn't have to switch to AT&T to get their hands on a modern touchscreen phone. Initially, the Storm sold well. It seemed like BlackBerry might have a winner on their hands. But the Storm had issues. It used a technology called short press, which was supposed to mimic the feeling of pressing a real button when you touch the screen. The problem was, it didn't just require a touch, it needed a firm press. which people didn't like, and that wasn't the only issue. The Storm's browser was no match for the iPhone Safari. It was slow, it crashed a lot, and it didn't support Wi-Fi. The phone had other glitches too, making it clear that the Storm wasn't the iPhone killer BlackBerry hoped it would be. Meanwhile, Apple wasn't standing still. The iPhone 3G had already been out and was a hit, and the buzz was building for the iPhones 4. As these iPhones gained popularity, BlackBerry's share of the smartphone market began to slide, and by 2016 it was almost non existent. The smartphone market was booming, but BlackBerry wasn't keeping up. The iPhone sales were skyrocketing, leaving BlackBerry in the dust. This was the beginning of the end for BlackBerry's reign in the smartphone world. They had tried to compete, but the iPhone's innovation and user-friendly design were winning the race. BlackBerry's journey took a tough turn after its heyday. The company, once known for its distinctive keyboards, found itself outpaced by rivals like Apple, who offered a wider variety of apps and more user-friendly experience. BlackBerry had always focused on business clients, building device perfect for work. But when the iPhone came along, it changed everything, making smartphones personal and fun. BlackBerry struggled to keep up with the shift and missed out on attracting everyday users. By 2013, the struggle was evident. BlackBerry tried to change its course, even considering selling itself at one point. However, they chose to push forward with a new leader instead. But by 2016, the company had to make a hard decision to stop making phones. Now, BlackBerry has turned its expertise to software and cybersecurity, licensing its brand to other smartphone makers. In 2019, they even invested over $1 billion in an AI company, signaling a new direction. BlackBerry still exists, but it's a different kind of company now, smaller and more focused on specific tech areas. John F. Kennedy once said that change is important in life. If we don't change, we will get left behind. This is true for businesses too. BlackBerry, which was once very popular, didn't keep up with new changes and lost its success. On the other hand, McDonald's kept changing and got even more successful. They're now one of the biggest names in fast food. I talk about how McDonald's did this in a video I made. Watching it will show you how changing the right way can make a business win.